All right, let's dive into something really interesting today. We're taking a deep dive into the world of natural hair care with, well, Blaize On'Fyah and her company Ade Ori Mi. You know, the crown on my head. And I've got to say, the buzz around Blaize and her whole approach to hair care is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about Blaize is that she's not just, out there selling products. She's really addressing this need in the natural hair community.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, imagine being a mom of 8 kids, all with different hair types.
Right.
Talk about a crash course in hair care.
Yeah.
And that's how Blaize actually got started, right?
Yeah.
Back in 2016, she started developing these products for her own family because she couldn't find what she needed on the market.
And that's such a key point because so much of, the natural hair market, it seems like it's really just kind of geared towards one, single ideal. But Blaize, she recognized right away that individual hair needs, they vary.
Okay, so wait, so she wasn't just whipping up some, DIY concoctions in her kitchen. She was formulating customized products.
Exactly. It really speaks to a very, very deep understanding of hair care and also a commitment to really addressing the root of the issue, not just offering a temporary fix.
Now that's impressive. And she didn't stop at hair products, did she? I saw stuff about skincare, even beard oil.
Oh, absolutely. Ade Ori Mi has this whole line of all-natural hair and skincare products, and they're all ethically sourced ingredients, which is fantastic. But I think what really struck me is her dedication to keeping things affordable.
Oh, tell me more about that, because natural hair care products, let's be real, they can be pricey.
That's right. It's there's this unspoken premium that gets attached to, embracing your natural texture. But Blaize, she's challenging that.
I love that.
She believes that everyone should have access to good quality hair care, no matter,
The budget shouldn't be a barrier, right?
Exactly.
It's more than just looking good.
Yeah.
It's about, feeling good, having the confidence to express yourself.
And that's where all these testimonials come in, It's incredible. People aren't just raving about the products, but they're sharing these stories about how it's changed how they see themselves. They're more confident. They accept themselves more. And there's even this sense of community starting to build.
All right. You've definitely got my attention. Let's hear about those testimonials. What are people saying about Ade Ori Mi?
Well, one of the things that kept coming up was how effective the products are.
Okay.
There was Samantha. She's a busy professional, always on the go, and she swears by this edge control.
Wait, edge control?
Yeah.
You're telling me she found something natural that actually, tames those flyaway? I need the details on that.
I know, right? Apparently, it's a game changer. Samantha was saying it gives her all-day hold, but without that stiff, crunchy feeling you get from a lot of products.
Okay, I can see why that would cause a stir. What other kinds of transformations are people experiencing?
Well, there's Mary's story. She thought she had permanently damaged her edges from, years of relaxers and just
Oh, I've been there. That feeling when you think the damage is just irreversible. It's the worst.
Exactly. But she'd been using Blaize's herbal hair growth treatment, and after a few months, she started noticing new growth. She even sent pictures. It was amazing.
Wow. That is incredible. It really speaks to the power of natural ingredients when they're, formulated the right way.
And it's not just about repairing damage. It's about embracing the full potential of your natural hair. Rachel, for example, she had no idea her hair could be so curly and bouncy until she tried Ade Ori Mi's Hydrating Deep Conditioner. Now her son uses it for his locks too, So
we're talking versatility. Products that work for different hair types and textures, even within the same family.
It's amazing how it goes beyond just the individual, right? It becomes this whole family affair, embracing their natural hair together.
I love that. And it makes me think about something you mentioned earlier, this sense of community around Ade Ori Mi. What do you think is fostering that?
I think a big part of it is how dedicated Blaize is to customer service. She's really known for that personal touch, handwritten notes, little samples tailored to what you need. It's such a different experience from those, big impersonal brands.
It's like that warm, fuzzy feeling you get when you walk into your local bookstore and the owner knows your name and remembers what you like to read.
Exactly.
It feels good to be seen and heard, especially with something as personal as, your hair.
I know, right? And that personal touch, it extends to how Blaize approaches, educating people about their hair too. It's not just about selling the products. She wants to empower people with the knowledge and tools to take care of their own hair.
Right. We talked about her workshops and webinars earlier. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. She offers a whole bunch of resources. Online, in person, she covers everything. The basics, how to figure out your hair type, styling tips, all of it.
It's like she's demystifying natural hair care. Because for so long, there just hasn't been a ton of accessible information out there, especially if you're, transitioning away from chemical treatments or trying to learn about textured hair for the first time.
Totally. And Blaize recognized that gap, and created this amazing space where people could learn from each other and share their experiences. And she even brings in these other experts like dermatologists, trichologists, braiders, to give this really well-rounded perspective.
That's incredible. She really wants to lift up the community. It's not just about selling products at all. And speaking of empowerment, we've got to talk about how Blaize is challenging that whole narrative around damaged hair in the Black community.
Yes, such an important point. For way too long, there's been this pressure to conform to these beauty standards that say straight or chemically treated hair is the ideal.
It's like this message that natural hair needs to be fixed or controlled.
Exactly. And that can be so damaging to self-esteem, especially for young people just trying to, embrace their natural beauty. But Blaize, she's pushing back against that.
So how is she doing that? Is it through her educational materials?
It's in everything she does. In her workshops, she talks about the science behind hair and debunks a lot of common myths about how natural hair is unprofessional or difficult to manage. She shares these really inspiring stories about people who've learned to love their natural texture and found confidence in how they look.
It's about reclaiming the narrative.
Yes.
I bet that resonates with her customers.
It really does. You see it in all the customer testimonials. They're not just thanking her for good products. They're thanking her for creating a space where they feel seen, celebrated, and just empowered.
You mentioned earlier that some people even go so far as to call Ade Ori Mi a ministry.
I know, right?
That's powerful. A hair care ministry.
It really speaks to the deep impact she's having on people's lives. She's not just changing hair, she's changing minds and hearts,
It's remarkable to see how one person's passion can have this ripple effect. So what kind of impact would you say Blaize is having on the broader beauty industry? Do you think she's sparking a movement?
She's definitely a force to be reckoned with. I think her success is part of this larger trend toward natural hair acceptance. We're seeing more brands embracing different textures, more inclusivity in their advertising.
That's true.
And her commitment to affordability, I think that's influencing things too. She's showing everyone that you don't have to charge a fortune to create amazing natural hair care products.
It's like she's raising the bar for the whole industry.
Yeah.
Pushing for better representation, more ethical sourcing, and making it accessible to everyone.
Absolutely. And her personal story, too. Don't forget that. A Black woman entrepreneur building a successful company, raising a family, and challenging societal norms at the same time.
Talk about an inspiration. With all this talk about community and testimonials, I'm really curious to hear some of these stories from the Ade Ori Mi customers.
Well, one that really stuck with me was Natalie's. She talked about how she used to hide her natural hair under wigs for years because she felt ashamed of her texture.
Wow. Years of hiding your natural hair, that's got to be tough. It's like you're hiding a part of yourself,
And that's exactly how Natalie described it. She felt this disconnect between how she looked on the outside and how she felt inside.
So how did Ade Ori Mi change things for her? Was it a specific product?
Well, it seems like it was a few things coming together, but it started with Blaize's onion oil. Natalie was dealing with hair loss and scalp issues, and nothing seemed to help.
Onion oil, huh? I'm not going to lie, that's not the first thing that pops into my head when I think of, hair care.
Right. But it's actually full of nutrients that are great for hair growth, and it can really soothe the scalp, too. It just goes to show how dedicated Blaize is to using these traditional remedies.
So, okay, the onion oil helped with the hair loss. But what about how she felt about her hair? Did Natalie say anything about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She said as her hair started growing back, it came in thicker and healthier than before. And with that came this huge boost of confidence. She'd never felt that way before. She started trying out all these new styles, embracing her natural curls. It was amazing.
It's really incredible how our outside can affect how we feel on the inside. Did Blaize actually work with Natalie directly, or was it more about the products themselves?
Well, Natalie specifically mentioned how encouraging Blaize was and that she gave her really personalized advice. She'd actually reached out through the Ade Ori Mi website. And Blaize got back to her with this really detailed response, all about Natalie's specific hair concerns.
Now, that's what I call going above and beyond. It sounds like Blaize genuinely cares about her customers. It's
Yeah.
not just about the sale.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes Ade Ori Mi so special. It's about authenticity, it's about community, and it's about truly empowering people on their hair journeys.
It's really inspiring to see how one person's vision can have such a big impact. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Blaize On'Fyah and Ade Ori Mi, what's the one thing you hope our listeners take away from all of this?
I think the biggest lesson here is the power of being genuine, being true to yourself. That goes for business and for life. Blaize's success comes from her willingness to be herself, to challenge the way things are usually done, and to create a space where everyone feels welcome and appreciated for who they are.
It's a great reminder that success isn't just about, making money. It's about having a purpose, being passionate, and making a real difference in the world. And hey, maybe this deep dive will inspire some of our listeners to start their own natural hair journeys, or even start their own businesses that are true to their values.
I love that. And if they do, they can look to Blaize On'Fyah as a shining example of what's possible.
Absolutely. That's a great note to end on. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep embracing what makes you you.